Trial 2020 was created in the year 2013 on the feeling that the year 2020 was going to be a negative year, a prophetic year, a year of omens. 160 years after the inauguration of Abraham Lincoln and the Civil War, which followed. And 2020 turned out to be just that. The key line in the episodic trial 2020 is we have to have a definition of right and wrong, or we have anarchy.
Rhonda Sanchez has refused to recognize common law marriage in finding Neely McClelland not guilty for the recently enacted federal crime of bigamy. Although Blanche Anderson, who won a Texas ruling that she and Mr. McClelland were indeed married by common law. Mr. McClelland has since married in a traditional ceremony in New York and was acquitted for the felony crime. I'm Beverly Whittington. Witness stand, America.
Mr. Brooks, the common law decision in federal court, what about it?
It sends a message to men that you can't have the milk without buying the cow.
I'm not so sure I like the metaphor of a cow being used when we're talking about women.
All the same, the ruling sends a message that women can demand more of men.
Ms. Liotta, do you not agree that this helps women?
Well, I'm sorry, but I don't like the suggestion that women are these helpless creatures that need to depend on men for assistance. We do think for ourselves, you know.
It's not surprising that my liberal colleague is arguing for welfare.
Welfare? How so, Mr. Brooks?
The hardest hit sector of our economy are the mothers, where the fathers of the children involved have abandoned responsibility.
And I and my colleague have argued this many times in chamber. This is not a decision of welfare. This is about telling people what to do based on a preconceived notion.
And that notion is what?
That this country is founded on biblical standards of what is right and what is wrong.
Many of our forefathers openly acknowledged their Christian leanings, did they not, Ms. President?
Yes, that is absolutely true. But this is the 21st century. Many things have progressed. Should not how we govern.
We have judges steering that in our courts today. Look, we have to have some definition of right and wrong, or we have anarchy.
The negligence case over the death of Noodles the dog begins in federal district court today. Noodles was well known for his role in the Dog on Lawn movies, as the dog in the beer glass commercials, as well as guest starring on numerous TV shows. His owner, Barbara Harris, claims the defendant breached his duties by failing to operate his vehicle in a safe manner. The defendant admits to being distracted by, of all things, a topless woman. He's countersuing and claims that the whiplash injuries that he received did occur due to Ms. Harris allowing Noodles to run free.
The driver has a responsibility to watch the road. The dog is the mentality of a 5-year-old child. And if this was a child who had run out into the street after their ball and got hit and killed, this wouldn't even be a debate.
As you can see by the small shrine of flowers left at the site of the accident on the day of the trial, many people still fondly remember Noodles.
Members of the jury, driving's a privilege. There's a reason we take a driver's test to get a driver's license. because there's an inherent risk and responsibility involved when you're driving a 2-ton hunk of steel down the road. It means that you agree to maintain a certain reasonable amount of care when you are performing a potentially dangerous act, in this case, driving. Mr. Kozlowski breached his duty of care as a licensed automobile driver when he did not control his vehicle and hit and killed Miss Harris's dog's Noodles. There is no amount of money that will bring back what Miss Harris has lost. But we are asking for compensatory damages for loss of companionship and loss of future earnings. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, my colleague here, Mr. Dean, is playing with your emotions. Obviously, we all feel very bad for Noodles. Some of you may have seen him on TV. I feel just as sad. But this is not the issue. The issue is completely different. It's about the fault. Whose fault is it that Noodles died? And you will hear the evidence that my client was distracted by a very attractive woman who was publicly exposing her breasts, walking half naked. Right? This criminal act of indecent exposure was an unforeseeable intervening event. Ultimately, the evidence will show that Mr. Kozlowski had a perfect driving record and that this accident would not have occurred but for the failure of Miss Harris to control her dog. Think about it. Would any reasonable person play with their dog so close to the street? She breached her duty of reasonable care by throwing that ball, which was the proximate cause of the accident, and brought about the injury sustained by my client, Mr. Kozlowski, for which he now requests to be compensated. Thank you. So, Ms. Harris, let me make sure I understand. You threw a ball and your dog ran into the street.
Noodles was well trained. The driver of that car was texting and not paying attention.
You're not answering my question, Ms. Harris. Please answer the question.
Yes, I threw the ball like I always did with Noodles. Drivers don't pay attention, and that's why Noodles is dead.
And did you throw the ball towards the street, Ms. Harris?
No, of course not. The ball. Rolled it to the street before Noodles could get to it.
And didn't you think, Ms. Harris, that by throwing the ball near the street, it may roll into the street?
Noodles, no! I always threw the ball that way, and he always got it before it went into the street.
No further questions, Your Honor.
You may step down, Miss Harris.
Why don't they stop the reckless drivers? Why doesn't anybody care about the animals? He was my family.
Counsel, is your client going to be okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's when the car, like, boom, hit whatever. I mean, yeah. I guess it's that lady's dog or something. 'Cause,
yeah.
Yeah. But she. Hey there, baby.
All
how
right,
you
stay
doing?
with me. Stay with me. Stay with me. All right. So what all did you see?
Mr. Bridge, will you please state where you were on the date in question?
Your Honor, I think I should let you know that I filed a formal complaint against the city of New York for false arrest on that day.
Noted, Mr. Bridge. This is a separate matter. Can you please answer the question?
I was detained illegally.
You know what? Go ahead and give me some idea. You got something on you?
No.
All right, sir.
Yeah, I got an idea.
No,
I got an idea.
Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You know, we can go over here and talk about it.
I got it. I got an idea. It's quick. Man. It's okay. Let's see.
All right, let me see.
Told you I had idea.
Okay. All right. It's good. Still,
Can I have my idea?
No. Let's go over here. I want to make sure I get all your details.
Leave me
down.
alone. No,
Sorry?
man, no, I gotta go. It's getting late.
No. I'm gonna need you to come with me, okay?
No, get your hands off me, man. I didn't do anything, man.
Hadn't done anything wrong. I was walking on Garfield Place.
What'd you see?
She didn't have any clothes on.
Can you please explain that, Mr. Bridge?
A lady stepped outside. She was topless. Her breasts were showing.
Is that woman in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Can you identify her?
Order. The records show that Mr. Bridge has identified Geneva Stevens.
What did you do?
I stopped and watched.
Fair enough. When you saw Miss Stevens, where was she exactly?
Outside of the doorway of the building she just stepped out of.
Okay, was this around the time of the accident?
Yes.
So, to be clear, she was not in front of the car that was involved in the accident, is that correct?
No.
Okay, was she even in the street?
No.
Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Blackburn?
You're drinking, correct?
What's that?
You were drinking, Mr. Bridge.
Yeah, so what?
How much had you had? By the time you saw this accident, how much had you had?
I don't know.
Well, the accident occurred about 6 p.m. Had you worked that day?
I had.
And did you start drinking at 5, 5:15, 5:30?
How's any of this your business?
Your Honor, please direct the witness to answer the question.
Answer the question, Mr. Bridge.
I got out of work early that day. I think I started drinking around 1.
And what had you had to drink before 6 p.m.?
Objection, Your Honor. Mr. Bridge isn't on trial today. Do we really need to go into this level of detail of his daily activity?
He's a witness to an accident, Your Honor. It goes to his credibility.
I'm going to allow this last question to Mr. Bridge, Ms. Blackburn, and then let's move on.
Thank you, Your Honor. What had you had to drink, Mr. Bridge, before 1 p.m. and 6 p.m. on that day?
I think I had a couple of train wrecks, kamikaze, B-52, a couple lagers, Irish car bomb, a light.
And you had a bottle of whiskey on your person. And having consumed this quantity of adult beverage, Mr. Bridge, you want this court to believe that you could accurately remember what you saw.
I saw what I saw.
Oh, Mr. Bridge, I find it really hard to believe you could even see.
Objection. There's no question there, Your Honor.
Withdrawn.
You may step down, Mr. Bridge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Court will be in recess for 1 hour. All rise. Ms. Blackburn?
We call Geneva Stevens to the stand.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and Miss, do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name for the court.
Geneva Stevens.
Miss Stevens, are you aware of the car accident we've been speaking of today?
Yes.
And where were you at approximately 6 p.m. on that day?
I stepped out to take a walk.
And did you step outside unclothed, Miss Stevens?
I had on pants and running shoes.
So you had no clothing at all from your waist up?
That is correct.
And were you aware of indecent exposure laws, Miss Stevens, when you did this?
I just felt like taking a walk. Guys walk around outside without their shirts on all the time. I didn't think it'd be a problem if I did the same. It's a little hypocritical, don't you think?
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Dean?
Miss Stevens, did you walk into the street?
No, I walked on the sidewalk.
So you in no way placed yourself in front of oncoming traffic?
No.
No further questions?
You may step down, Miss Stevens.
Thousand Ton TV has been following the Negligent Noodles case, which took place in Brooklyn. It has been a case of interest as many fans have mourned the death of the dog Star. The owner of Noodles is a prominent educator in New York and is suing for negligence. The defendant and at least one witness seem to claim the cause of the accident was a woman engaged in indecent exposure. We will continue to bring you all the news on this case. I'm Caitlin Bourgeois, Thousand Ton TV.
In the case of Harris versus Kozlowski, has the jury reached a verdict?
Yes, we have, Your Honor.
How do you find?
We find for the plaintiff, Barbara Harris, and against the defendant, Tom Kozlowski. We award Ms. Harris total damages in the amount of $125,000.
So ordered. Court is adjourned.
All rise.
How are you, Miss Anderson?
I'm fine, thank you.
I had a chance to review your chart, and I understand you would like to terminate this pregnancy.
Yes, I would.
Have you considered adoption?
It's something I don't want to consider.
Okay. May I ask why?
I wouldn't like to talk about it, and I don't feel I have to.
Listen, you're not obligated to tell me what your rationale is. But I just want to let you know that I cannot do this for you.
What do you mean?
I mean, I cannot perform this procedure for you.
You cannot? Or you will not?
Miss Anderson, I'm sorry, but I will not perform this procedure for you. I encourage you to reconsider your plans, considering there are alternatives.
Doctor, I'm gonna need you to put everything that you've just said in writing. Everything.